Two people are looking at the same object. One says it's a circle. The other says, no, it's a rectangle. They argue. They judge each other. They both think the other person is wrong. But then you rotate the object, and suddenly you see the truth. It was a cylinder. One person saw the front, one person saw the side. Both saw something real, but neither saw the whole thing. That is Wysometric. Wysometric means looking at the why of life from a deeper angle, not just one angle, not just your emotions, not just other people's opinions, not just the advice everyone repeats online, but the full shape. Because when you feel stuck, people usually give you one flat answer. You need more motivation. You need more time. You need more confidence. You need more money. You need more discipline. And maybe each one is partly true. But what if the deeper answer is simpler? What if you are not stuck because you are lazy? What if you are stuck because you are trying to run your life without a system? Most people trust motivation too much, but motivation is unstable. Some nights, your mind feels alive. You feel creative, you feel powerful, you feel like you can change your whole life. Then the next morning comes, and you wake up as a completely different person. Lower energy, different mood, different thoughts, maybe bad sleep, maybe a bad dream, maybe stress, maybe nothing happened at all, but your brain just doesn't feel the same. And now, the dream that felt obvious last night feels heavy today. That is where most people judge themselves. They say, I'm inconsistent, I'm lazy, I never finish anything, I always start and stop. But the Wysometric view asks a better question. Which version of you made the plan? And which version of you has to execute it? Because those are not always the same version. I know this from my own life. At night, especially after 10 p.m. or around midnight, my brain can be on fire. Ideas come fast. Creativity wakes up. Ambition wakes up. I can feel like I am ready to conquer the world. But the next morning, sometimes I wake up and my brain is completely different. Maybe I slept badly. Maybe I had a weird dream. Maybe my mood is off. Maybe something small throws me off. And suddenly I'm asking myself, what am I even supposed to do today? That does not mean the dream was fake. It does not mean I am weak. It means I cannot let my morning mood become the CEO of my life. So I learned something simple. The version of me that has clarity at night needs to help the version of me that struggles in the morning. If I want to go cycling in the morning, I cannot wake up and negotiate with myself, because then my brain has to make too many decisions. Where are my socks? Which shirt should I wear? Where are my shorts? Where is my water bottle? Where is my helmet? Where are my lights? Where is my equipment? Every tiny decision creates friction, and every bit of friction gives resistance a chance to win. So the system is simple. I prepare everything the night before. Clothes, ready. Shoes, ready. Helmet, ready. Water bottle, ready. Equipment, ready. The next morning, I do not need to become a motivational speaker. I do not need to feel inspired. I just need to follow the path that I already created. That is a system. A system is when your clear-minded self protects your tired self. A system is when your future action becomes easier before the difficult moment arrives. Dreams give you direction. Systems carry you when the dream does not feel exciting anymore. This is where people misunderstand self-improvement. They think the answer is always to push harder, but sometimes the answer is to remove friction. Make the right action easier, make the wrong action harder, and stop asking your weakest mood to make your most important decisions. That works with fitness. If your gym clothes are ready, your workout plan is clear. and your schedule is already chosen. Going to the gym becomes easier. That works with diet. If healthy food is already prepared before you get hungry, eating better becomes easier. That works with work. If you answer emails during one fixed window, instead of reacting all day, your brain has less chaos. And that works with creativity. If you capture ideas when your brain is most alive, you stop losing them when your energy changes. The goal is not to become a robot. The goal is to understand your own operating system. A Jungian way to look at this is simple. There is the person you think you are. There is the person you show the world. And there is the hidden version of you that takes over when you are tired, stressed, emotional, hungry, lonely, distracted, or afraid. That hidden version is not evil. It is not something to hate, but it needs to be understood. Because many people make plans from their ideal self, but they break those plans from their hidden self. Your ideal self says, "I'm going to change my life." Your tired self says, "Not today." Your inspired self says, "I'm going to build something meaningful." Your overwhelmed self says, "Let me escape for a little bit." Your disciplined self says, "I'm going to eat clean." Your stressed self says, "I just need comfort." So the solution is not shame. The solution is awareness. You do not defeat your hidden patterns by pretending they do not exist. You study them. When do they appear? What triggers them? What environment makes them stronger? What environment makes them weaker? This is why your personality is not your prison. Your personality is your instruction manual. Some people are morning people. Some people are night owls. Some people need silence. Some people need music. Some need pressure. Some need freedom. Some need structure. And some people may have ADHD traits or overthinking patterns or emotional decision-making patterns. That does not make you broken. And this video is not here to diagnose anyone. The point is this: different minds need different systems. A night owl should not blindly copy the life of a 5 a.m. person. A creative person should not shame themselves for not thinking like a spreadsheet. And someone with ADHD traits should not rely only on memory, mood, and willpower. They may need visual cues, prepared environments, shorter steps, external reminders, less friction, clear triggers. A powerful brain still needs steering. A fast engine still needs a road. Your system is that road. So when you feel stuck, do not only ask, "What is wrong with me?" Ask, "What angle am I missing?" Maybe you do not need a bigger goal. Maybe you need a smaller first step. Maybe you do not need more discipline. Maybe you need less friction. Maybe you do not need to become a different person. Maybe you need to build a life that works with your actual mind, not the imaginary version of you that only exists when you feel motivated. That is Wysometric. We rotate the problem. We look at the full cylinder. We stop judging the flat image, and we start understanding the structure underneath. Before the next episode, I want you to do one simple thing. Take a piece of paper and answer 3 questions. Do not just think about them, write them down. Question 1. When is your mind naturally at its best? Morning, afternoon, night, or under pressure? Question 2. When do you usually sabotage yourself? Late night, early morning, after work, when you are stressed, when you are bored, or when you feel overwhelmed? Question 3. Where do you struggle the most? Starting, staying consistent, or finishing? These 3 answers matter because they show you the shape of your own cylinder. They show you where your current system is failing, and they give us the starting point for the next episode. I'll also leave a self-assessment link below for people who want to better understand their personality and working style. Use it as a mirror, not a label. The point is not to put yourself in a box. The point is to understand how your mind works so you can build systems that actually fit you. Some links may support this channel at no extra cost to you, but the goal is simple. Use tools that help you understand yourself better. Because when you understand yourself better, you stop copying everyone else's path and you start designing your own. This is Chapter 1 of Wysometric. Why do we get stuck? Sometimes it is not because the dream is wrong. Sometimes it is not because you are weak. Sometimes it is not because you do not care enough. Sometimes you are just looking at your life from one flat angle. In the next episode, we will go deeper into personality, brain patterns, and why the same advice does not work for everyone. Because you do not need generic motivation. You need a system designed for the way your mind actually works. So write down your 3 answers, study yourself, and remember, you are not lazy. You are not broken. You may just be looking at your life from the wrong angle. Welcome to Wysometric.